Good morning, everyone. My name is Rabbi Lesser, Director of Pastoral Care here at Gurwin Jewish Nursing and Rehab. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. As we're getting closer to the holiday of Hanukkah, we'll talk a little bit more about the holiday, what it represents, and we'll have wonderful programs here during the holiday to celebrate Hanukkah together. We'll begin our weekly Oneg Shabbat, the same way we do every week, with the singing of Shalom Aleichem, welcoming the Shabbos angels into our homes. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharis, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharis, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashoris, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nile Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nile Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nile Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teizchem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teizchem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teizchem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As we get closer to the holiday of Hanukkah, you have to remember how truly important this holiday is to all of us. Hanukkah is known as a festival of lights. Why is it known as a festival of lights? So the easy and the simple understanding is that we know one of the miracles that happened was that after the Jewish people conquered and defeated the Greeks, they retook over the Holy Temple and they wanted to dedicate it again. Yet all of the oil in the temple was desecrated, was impure, and they could not use it to light the holy menorah. And they looked and they looked, and they found one small jug of oil, which would only last for one day, and yet new oil, fresh oil, which was pure, would be another 7-day wait. But they said to themselves, you know what, we'll light this anyway, even though it won't last the entire time. And we know the miracle happened, and it lasted for all 8 days, up until the time they were able to secure more oil. So certainly the holiday, the light that occurred, is something to be happy about and to celebrate. And that's one reason why it's called the Festival of Lights. But there's another reason as well. The light of the menorah represents our hope, even when things are dark, even when it's the winter time, it's cold outside, it's dark outside. And sometimes in life we go through ups and downs and we don't necessarily see any hope. So too, the Jewish people at that time, they said, listen, what are we going to do? A little bit of oil? How long is that going to last already? There's no hope for us to truly rededicate the temple. But they said, a little bit's better than nothing. And they went ahead and they saw which miracle occurred. So too in our lives. Whenever there's a little spark of something, a little spark of inspiration, we're having a rough day, but something goes well in our day, a little bit of positivity, you have to take that all the way and say, if we had a few minutes of peace and tranquil and things are going well, let's hope and pray that it continues to go well, because from a little bit of light, a little spark, great things can happen.
Nei Shabbos nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmiyanu kelam yuchad Hashem echad u'shmo yechad L'shem u'seferes v'lesila L'echad odi l'kras kala Nei Shabbos nekabela L'kras Shabbos v'ven Ki mekor haviracha Meirosh mikedem nesucha Sav maaseh b'machshava tchila Lecha dodi lekras kala Nei Shabbos nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha Kumitzi mitocha havecha Rav lo shevet v'mekabacha Huyachamol alayechem lalecha dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela Isna ari meyafar kumi levshi bigdei sevartei chami Al yad beni shai salach mi karva el nafshi giyala lecha dodi Kras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela Isahoriri Kiva orecho meyori Yori shir taveri Oid Hashem alayich nigla Lecha dodi likras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Lo se voshi v'lo si komi Madish doichachi umatemi Bahach yachsu ani yeyami V'nivnisa ha'ir al tila Lecha dodi likras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Boi b'shalom materes v'alo Gam berino v'tzahala Tochem unei am segula Boi kala lecha dodi Kras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela.
This week's Torah portion reads the story about Jacob and the future of the Jewish people. Jacob running away from his brother Esau, who's trying to kill him. He finds himself in his cousin's house, Lavan. And Lavan has two wonderful daughters, Rachel, Rachel, and Leah. And Jacob decides to marry them. And the story behind marrying the two sisters is one which has a lot of complexity to it. But what happens at the end of the story is quite fascinating. That Jacob, after marrying the sisters, promising to work for their father Lavan in terms of marriage, or to support them, after a number of years working there, realized that Lavan, his father-in-law, who's also his employer, is tricking him. He's tricking him and slowly stealing his money. And most people would have different types of reactions when this would happen. They'd say it's not right, it's not fair. But Jacob didn't do any of that. Jacob kept finding ways to make sure that he would have enough money for himself and for his family. And finally, when a moment came when Lavan went to him and said, you're doing these things against me, Jacob said, all these years I've been working for you, you've been tricking me, and I haven't said anything. And we learned from this story a little bit of patience that we have to have, that a lot of times in life, things don't go the way we want them to go. Things just become more difficult and more difficult. And there's two reactions we could have. We could say it's not fair, it's wrong, and be upset at the person. Or we can understand that God has a plan and everything comes from God. Of course, we need to stick up for ourselves, as Jacob did. But the overarching message in our lives has to be, whatever happens is for a reason. And as long as we treat things that way and we do the best that we can, God will always be with us.
Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'ez nasa b'chefso kol azay melech shemo nirka v'yacharei tichlos hakol levahado yimloch nora v'haya v'hoven v'yihye b'sifara v'hu echad v'yin Am Shila lehachvira v'lireishid v'lisachlis loho zaham Yisra v'hu keli v'chai goali Surchav li b'yeis nasa v'hu nisi umanosli v'naskosi b'yom ekra v'yahado avkid ruchi Yeis ishan v'yahira v'yimruchi gaviyasi Ado Shamli v'lo ira. Happy, healthy Shabbat. Great weekend. We'll see everybody next week.